Let's not beat around the bush. Devil is the movie where everyone groans and boos the trailer because the name M. Night Shyamalan comes up at the end. Shyamalan, of course, is in the midst of one of the biggest career flameouts in modern Hollywood history, so selling this as M. Night Shyamalan presents the Night Chronicles, Devil from the mind of M. Night Shyamalan probably wasn't the best idea. But regardless, it's actually very unfair to hold Shyamalan against this. He came up with the story and produced it, yes, but someone else directed it and someone else wrote the screenplay. Let me be very clear. Devil should not be booed and maligned because of the tangential connection to M. Night Shyamalan. No, Devil should be booed and maligned on its own merits, because it's awful. You know, for most of my life, I've thought the general concept of the devil, as in Satan, was kind of a dumb idea. I'm not trying to belittle anyone's beliefs, I'm a Catholic school survivor myself, but strictly from a secular, analytical, narrative perspective, why does an all-powerful deity need or even have a vastly less powerful arch-nemesis? But the thing is, that version of the devil is basically an invention of the popular culture. If you read the actual book, Satan is like barely in there, and when he does show up, other than some big bad stuff at the very beginning and some big bad stuff at the very end, he's basically just a snarky minion who got demoted to VP of Discipline Management and acts out by making mischief on Earth like a glib, middle-managing Loki. He's not exactly Lex Luthor. He's not even Vegeta. He's Starscream. Now, that characterization actually makes some sense. Unfortunately, the version of the devil that shows up in Devil is the dumb one. A nigh-omnipotent supervillain running around finding sinners and straight-up murdering them. Our central premise, 5 strangers with dark secrets are stuck in an elevator. One of them is the devil. Every time the lights go out, someone dies, so the race is on to figure out who's secretly walking on cloven hooves. Is the answer really obvious? Yes. Do they cheat anyway? You betcha. Is it all just another retread of Shyamalan's favorite messages and themes about fate and destiny and how we're all connected? What do you think? What's kind of hilarious is that the movie seems very concerned that the audience might have trouble following along. So rather than having either us or the characters discover that they're actually fighting the devil through clues and storytelling, they just drag out one of Hollywood's most tiresome racial stereotypes, in this case the solemn, childlike, hyper-religious Latino guy, and have him straight up declare out of nowhere, "Oh crap, guys, we're dealing with the devil!" and then treating all the other characters like idiots for not just going along with it, just like that. Now let that sink in for a minute. They didn't think the audience would be able to figure out that the bad guy might be the devil in a movie called Devil. This is, without a doubt, one of the most singularly stupid movies I can remember seeing on a big screen. All the characters are either idiots or made to act like idiots in order to advance the plot. Nobody reacts in any way you'd recognize from an actual human being, and it resorts to cheap scares and bad logic in order to forcibly generate false suspense. Not even the devil's plan seems to make much actual sense. I mean, doesn't this kind of hands-on approach sort of negate the whole point of being the devil? Not to tell the Prince of Darkness how to do his job or anything, but how are you supposed to carry out sentences of eternal damnation on mortals who'd led lives of unrepentant sin when you're the one who killed them before they could repent? The simple country hyper chicken could get those kind of charges dropped. You know, I'd almost say Devil is worth seeing just for the unintended comedy, but I don't know if I want to do that to you. So let me just spoil one largely unimportant scene to demonstrate what you might be in for. In this movie, a character whom we're supposed to regard as the grounded, moral, and rational center of the entire story proves that they're in the presence of the devil by throwing a piece of toast up in the air and seeing if it lands butter side down. I am not making that up. I at this point forget if this happened either as the end of one or the beginning of the end of another supposed almost Shyamalanaissance. But wow, this really sucked. This is worse than I remembered, and this is another one where I don't have a lot to say about flashing back on it.
other than, hey, did you remember that this even happened? Because for a while, the fact that this was as bad as it was, as in even worse than it looked, was like the talk of the town. Like, do people even remember that this movie, Devil, spawned the meme of the trailer looks good, and then, you know, from the mind of M. Night Shyamalan comes up, and everyone goes, oh, God, no. But, yeah, this is the movie where people are stuck in the elevator with someone who's the devil, and that's the whole movie. It's as bad as it sounds, and even worse than you've heard. I'd actually forgotten how succinct I was in this one. In my recollection, this was a review where I drew things out and made a whole big deal about going back over the career of director and what. No, this is just a straight to the point, wow, this movie sucked. I can't remember if that means I was in a pretty good mood about something or a really bad mood about something else, but yeah, there it is. And they really do the toast thing.